So as long as we keep in contact with the coaches and try to keep in contact with the kids, it's not that hard. A lot of times, a lot of these kids around here, though, don't want to stay. They've been in Colby all their life. They've been in a small area. They're ready to get out and see the world. And it's hard a lot of times because a lot of these kids are like, I want to go to Manhattan. I don't even want to run anymore. I want to go to something bigger, something better than Colby. And it's tough because, you know, I've lived here all my life. I love this area. I really don't see myself ever leaving this small area. I really don't.
Carrie, for you on the recruiting program and trying to get kids to come here, would you start recruiting an athlete that's a sophomore that you know is a really good volleyball player already? I mean, would you establish a relationship, with that person or family?
If it's someone probably more so in the area, I think.
That's what I mean.
In the area, yeah, definitely. I think for us, for volleyball, I don't know if it's different or not, but it's important to build the relationship and show them like what your philosophy is, what your program will be like, the intensity of it, what it'll be like when they're on the court, and then also for them to meet their teammates, their potential teammates. Because a lot of the times, I'm going to recruit the same type of player, the same all-around player, so they're going to get used to or know whether or not they like that, that player or those players. So I think it's really important.
I guess I'm thinking about passive recruitment. I don't know if that's even really possible, but as a sophomore, I mean, they got 2 more years of high school to go. But if you can passively recruit, would that be an advantage?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily even the recruiting part of it. I mean, at that point, it's more just building their relationship and then going from there, I think. And when I was in Garden City, we ran a club program, and we worked with a lot of the younger kids, and we did build relationships with those kids, and they are at Garden City right now. I mean, and they were sophomores, freshmen when I was in Garden City. So it really, I think it pays off. I think because they were more aware of how Nick, the coach there, would coach, and they were more used to it. So they're the ones that are still there, going strong. So,
do you look at yourself as, and for lack of me knowing any better, I would say, let's draw a circle 60 miles from Colby or 80 miles, and you say, no one's going to get anybody here if I can help it at all. Is that possible? Is that something you would do or not? Does it make sense or not?
Yeah, it makes sense. I would say that would be a goal, I guess. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Garden City, you can stay in southwest Kansas. Yeah. We've got northwest Kansas. That doesn't mean you wouldn't go recruit a southwest Kansas.
Right, yeah.
You just don't want to lose somebody from your neck of the woods.
Right. And I find that when I went out to some of the small tournaments, there's kids that I don't think anyone even knows about, and so it's good. I think that there's so many small schools out like Colby that you're finding kids that are secrets, still. So it's important to build those relationships now. So when November 1st comes around, or when they're making their decision, we can be pretty confident in that. So.
And again, for those people that didn't catch it in the earlier programs, you too are not bound by a certain number of out-of-state, in-state on the volleyball scene, are you?
Right. No. So it helps a lot with that. But a lot of my recruiting comes from Nebraska and Colorado. The coaches know of Colby. I get emails. I have a tryout next Sunday, and then I got 4 or 5 emails just this weekend from coaches that want to send their players down. So I'm excited about that to see. We need to add some height, and I have some tall girls coming in and see how they kind of fan out and if they have the potential.
What do you do? Email all these schools around and say, hey, we've got to have a tryout, and then you hear back from them?
We sent packets out to all the high schools in Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas with our tryout dates. We have it on the webpage. And then they start calling. So I was surprised, but I'm, again, like I said, really excited. So.
Okay, great. We'll talk more about volleyball here in a bit. And I'm going to give you folks a chance watching to ask questions of the coaches, not just cross-country and volleyball, but we will incorporate also into the winter sports season, basketball and wrestling on our program. We'll also, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, have the opportunity to visit with Ryan Sturdy, who's not just the softball coach at Colby College, but of course the athletic director as well. And if you have questions for any one of these coaches, we'll tell you what you can do. You can email your questions to me just email them to repp@st-tel.net. And if you have a question for one of the coaches, we'll be glad to ask them before the show ever starts. They'll have an opportunity to research if they need to a little bit and answer your question that you have out there regarding volleyball and or cross country and track here at CCC, or any other sport, of course, that you would like to ask a question about. We'll save it for when that coach is on the program. Well, what's in store for the next week or two as far as cross country goes, Coach?
This weekend we're heading up to Fort Hays State. Really excited again just because of the way we ran at Oklahoma State Jamboree. You know, I think out of the 8 guys we took to Jamboree, we had 5 run personal best. And, you know, I wasn't expecting as much from my guys at Oklahoma State since we're in our tough part of training. And they just went in and did so great that, you know, again, we're still in our tough part of training. But the way that they reacted so well to Oklahoma State, I think that this weekend's just going to be another good weekend for us at Fort Hays.
Crystal, for you?
Same with me. We go to Fort Hays. I love this course. I ran it. It's one of my favorite courses to run. Love being this close to home. I'm only an hour away. I'm just like James. We're at one of our toughest points right now of running also. My ladies had a tough week of practice last week. And every one of my ladies ran their personal best this year that they've ran. So it was very exciting to see what they did at Oklahoma. They were all very scared of how our workouts went that week, and then they were complaining of fatigue and being tired, and they were just, and we get there, and I just told them in our circle after we prayed, I just said, ladies, just go have fun. Just make this a fun race. And every single one of them did. It was very exciting seeing them run.
Are both your teams generally healthy? I mean, any kind of leg problems in terms of pulled hamstrings or anything like that? Any muscle problems? You're healthy or not? James?
Last week we were dealing with a few illnesses, and again, another reason why I was just so surprised my guys came and stepped up and ran so well. But they're on the back end of it. Things are looking good. Our lead runner, Albert Mongoni, he's feeling a little hip issue, but you know, we're treating it, and the way he's running, it doesn't look like it's going to affect him too much because he's running great right now.
Are you healthy, Crystal, your team?
My ladies were going through some sickness also, just getting over the end of it. So I'm hoping no other ladies come up getting sick because.
Now you talk about sick, are you talking primarily flu?
Yeah, cold symptoms, mostly upper viral crap. It's just, and it's just the weather, the mixture of hot and cold, you know, being in and out. And
you've got probably the same problem, Carrie, in terms of health, flu, probably as much as anything.
Yeah, we kind of went through it early, so we only had one last week, and hopefully, you know, I haven't gotten it yet, so my assistant has already been through it too, so hopefully I get through it without being sick at all. So, but my players they're looking good, so as far as health.
The next 2 weeks, we mentioned, of course, Hutchinson was last night, but when you take a look at this weekend, again, you're going to Nebraska, and then what happens next week? You're right back in the conference play, are you?
Mm-hmm. Barton, I think. I don't look ahead too much.
But I know you got like Barton and Pratt left in the conference, the second round.
I think we're at Garden next 2 Saturdays from this Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday afternoon meeting.
Yeah, well, and they moved it to 7 p.m. So Garden forgot they had basketball planned, so we had to move our match to the evening. But you know, I don't know how that'll affect us or not affect us, but I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, you, of course, won the last time you played here, and I'm sure you're looking forward to going down there and beating him there.
So it's very important, not just because, you know, I coach with them, but for our regionals, you know, it's so important. And I tell the girls, you know, we're playing our teams the second time around, and so far it hasn't been so great. I think Sword is the only team we've played twice so far, but, well, in Barton, we haven't played them our second time as far as conference goes, but you know, those last matches are really gonna, I think, like, build us and get us ready.
All right.
You know.
Listen, good luck to you.
Thank you.
The next 7 to 10 days, and you guys as well on the cross country scene. Good luck